Welcome to part 2 of the Winnamp tutorial. I'm going to go into more in-depthly some of the features of this particular player and why I think it's so cool. Again, we've got, let me go ahead and scroll in a little bit, zoom in, there we go. Alright, like any media player or home player for that matter, you've obviously got your previous track to scroll to or go forward. You've got your play, you've got your pause, you've got your stop buttons. This takes the volume away, which is mute button. You've got your volume here. Now there's a percentage here, 27%, 12%, 100% depending. And then the cool thing is it also shows you, it scrolls what track you're playing. So I mean it's just quite obvious. Anytime you're playing a track, it'll be highlighted in white, but it's still, you're seeing the track there, which is nice. Some of the options are up here. As far as what you're doing, and again, different ways of doing things. You can manipulate the MP3s from track to track using the mouse. You can use the keyboard. You can even just use the menu up here by selecting this, or here's your quick references to hitting the Z's, your previous, your X's, your play, and enter is also a play as well too. So if I highlight a track and hit enter on the keyboard, there it is. So that's that. There's some other stuff up here as far as skins. There's your skin browser right there. You're able to log on and see other skins that people have designed and apply them to yours. You can save them. They're all totally free. Just some general help stuff. Everything that goes for in a file. And then over here you've got some other cool features. Now this one right here is obviously video. We don't need that. This will minimize your player. This brings it back. Obviously Xing out. Down here is you can actually create a loop. Now I'm not saying you can create like if you wanted to do, we'll see, a 4-bar loop and you wanted to try to mix a song and take a certain part out of that song and mix it. Can't do that. But what it will do is if I'm playing track 1, it'll go through all the tracks to 6, and then if that's selected, it'll go right back to the first track again. So it'll replay the whole list. Or if you just wanted it to replay one song, you could set it as that, and it'll just repeat one song over and over. If you set up a playlist of 20 or 30 tracks, you can select this. If you don't select it, it'll just go down the tracks as it's designated here. But if you select this, it'll randomize them. So you can have it just play whatever, because that's always the worst for me when I am cleaning the house or I'm doing some work and I line up a whole bunch of tracks I want to hear. I don't have to sit here and figure out, well, I want to hear this one next and that and that and that and whatever. So that'll randomize them for you. This button right here gets you to a screen which allows you to get to, if you don't have this folder or if you're not exploring in your documents or wherever you have your music, that's the way to do it. But I never use that feature. This right here is the playlist. If I click this, the playlist totally disappears. So you can just concentrate on using just that if you wanted to, if you had other things going on the screen and you were worried about the amount of space that's on your desktop for being visual. So I like the playlist because I like seeing what I've loaded up. Also right here, this is the media library. This is the thing that I already minimized in the very beginning, that I already X'd out of, which we don't really need. So take that away. This right here is just information about Winnamp. Nothing major, nothing important. Configurations. This is doing the different colors. Then we've got the different options here, and of course the equalizer, setting it however we like, and also we can even crossfade the tracks using that button right here and setting the setting this little number right here, whether we want it to crossfade at 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20, and we'll do that for every single track. Now if you wanted it to be every track every track be something different, then you obviously you'd have to do it every single time. But if it's universal, it'll be universally setting at once, and you'll always do that every single time. So that's that when it comes to the the configurations and doing the crossfading and whatnot. So now when it comes to music and loading music onto this thing, there's ways of doing it, which I'm going to get in right now. See if I can't change this up just a little bit. You can see. What actually I'm going to do is I'm first going to talk about my music a little bit and how I have it organized. Let's see. Okay. Everything in my music library, it will be kind of, let's say, under Pat's Music Master. I open that up, and then everything that I have musically is in these folders. One folder holds these subfolders, and in each subfolder there's more subfolders. It may seem long and tedious, but trust me, it's very, very easy. So let's say 80s alternative mainstream, for example. Open it up. Now, here's, Bryan Adams, there's The Cars, I've got Don Henley, Police, Talking Heads. If you go to a folder, let's say, Oingo Boingo, for example, here's Best of Boingo. Here's their Farewell Halloween 1995, which, a lot of the stuff, I'm never going to use. That's a fact. But this is my whole music database in its entirety. Just kind of demonstrating how I do it. And then there's like a various folder where I've got, different songs that maybe aren't on an album, or an album I don't have, or a bootleg or a live version. So that's kind of how I organize my music. So let's go back to uploading music onto the player. So let's just take, for example, let's go back to the electronic music. Okay, there's different ways we can upload this music onto the player. One way is to click and drag. Click and drag a track over. Click another track, drag it over, and make each individual, I want this one, or I want that one. If it was a whole bunch, like, well, hey, I need to have the whole thing on there, then you just go ahead and scroll up, highlight, drag over, there they are. So now we've got all those songs there. Now when it comes to playing them, again, we'll hit the button, and it will just go down each track as it happens. If we needed a track to start sooner, we can always, hit the enter button rather than double click. Now, when we have a big playlist like this and we've gone through this whole list of songs, the ways of getting rid of the songs that are on your playlist that you've already played. Well, one way is to right click over and remove each song. So say I don't want that one, and I don't want this one, and I don't want that one. Okay. Another way you can do it, which is a lot easier, especially if you have a lot of stuff to get rid of, take the song that we're already playing, for example, highlight it, okay? Then I'm going to right click. Now I'm going to go down to crop files. I hit crop files, watch what happens. Boom, okay. So, for the exception of one track, everything else is now gone. Now, I will say that when it comes to clicking and dragging music, you have to have some responsibility when it comes to doing this, and I'll explain why. Let's say you have a whole playlist of stuff. Okay. And if I was to double click on any of these tracks right now, there's a positive and a negative. One, if I needed a track to start right away, if I double click this track will start in favor of that track that I'm already playing. However, watch this whole playlist. Ready? Double click, it's gone. I just screwed myself, especially if I just, if I had this whole playlist set up and then I just went ahead and double click that track. So you could get in a lot of trouble if you double click a track. So don't do it unless you need a song to start right away. Again, different ways of doing it, hitting, highlighting the track and then hitting enter. So if I wanted this song played, or I wanted that song played, or I wanted that song played. Okay? Easy way of doing it.